everybody, croeso I Chwefro. Welcome to February. It's either the 1st of February when you're watching this, or it's the first week of February, but it's definitely croeso I Chwefro. Today's nod is to use the third person descriptions. Now, today's task is going to be a little bit tricky, but I'm going to help you every step of the way. We're going to be ambitious and challenge ourselves. We're going to use the third person language patterns, which I'll help you with and remind you about. We're going to spell the keywords correctly. We're going to use sentence stems to help us, and we're going to use them to describe something clearly. Now, on the right-hand side is the mythical map of the Mabinogion. The Mabinogion is a series of stories that help us, or maybe trick us into believing, the myths and legends that surround Wales, the people of Wales, and the places in Wales, mountains, seas, kings and queens. The Mabinogion are very famous stories, and some of the characters in the Mabinogion are quite remarkable. Some in particular, and especially the giants. Here are some of my favourite giants that come up in the Mabinogion tales. First is Idris. Idris is famous for one thing and one thing only, Cadair Idris. Cadair Idris is a mountain in Wales that you can visit one day if you want to, if you're quite capable of climbing a mountain. Cadair Idris, legend has it, was once a pointed, peaked mountain, and slowly, over time, as Idris was sitting at the top of this mountain, the mountain's peak wore down and down until it was a comfortable seat for Idris to sit in. Cadair, or Gadair, which you might have heard your teachers use in class before, is another word for seat. And the translation of this mountain, Cadair Idris, literally means Idris's seat. Here's my second favourite giant of Wales. This one's a little bit different. This is Rita. Rita is a different kind of giant. Rita is tall and huge, humongous stature, so big that legend has it he couldn't fit in any house that he tried to fit into. You can see by Idris's appearance there that he's quite fierce. He's got in his left hand a huge wooden pole, perhaps it's the trunk of a tree. In his right hand he bears an axe. Around his waist he has a dagger tied, and on his back he wears a cloak, but this is no ordinary cloak. Rita wears a cloak made of the beards of the people or giants he's defeated. That's no ordinary cloak that Rita is wearing there. Rita also roams the land of Rita Gawr, another mountain in Wales. And now my third and probably my most favourite Welsh giant is the next one. It's quite a difficult name, so listen carefully to how I'm saying it. Listen out to those Welsh sounds. Spatherden. Now, Spatherden appears in the very famous Mabinogion tale of Culhwch and Olwen. Culhwch and Olwen were to be married, but in order to get married, they had to complete 40 very difficult tasks, and one of them was to defeat Spatherden the giant. You can see in the background there that horrible picture of Spatherden there trying to get in or out of the castle. And Spatherden was and is very well known for being probably the most fearsome of the Welsh giants. I'm going to help you describe Spatherden in a moment using some Welsh language patterns. But before we do that, we're just going to recap some of those third-person language patterns we might have looked at in class before. Please don't worry, I'm going to help you through every step of the way. Now, before we describe Spatherden, let's describe somebody that's a little bit more easy to describe. So I've got this cartoon gentleman here. Now, there are two language patterns we're going to look at today, and this is the first. I'm going to say everything clearly and slowly, so make sure you're listening and your volume's turned up. But remember, you can pause and rewind and re-listen anytime you need to. Mae something da fe. Mae something da fe, which means he has something. He has something. So let's have a look at him. He's got a blue shirt, he's got brown or black hair, he's got brown eyes, he's got blue trousers, a white t-shirt or a blue t-shirt. So there's some things that we can describe here. So let's do that in Welsh using this language pattern. Mae un is the second language pattern we're going to concentrate on today. And mae un means he or he is. So he is tall, he is happy, he is, maybe he's kind, we don't know, but we could imagine. So there's some ideas. Let's have a go at actually putting these now into Welsh sentences. So let's use the mae something da fe. He has. Mae crys glas da fe. Mae crys glas da fe. Mae gwallt di da fe. Gwallt di da fe. Mae llygaid brown da fe. Mae llygaid brown da fe. Mae crys ti glas da fe. He has a blue t-shirt. Mae gwallt di da fe. He has black hair. Mae llygaid brown da fe. He has brown eyes. There's 3 sentences there using the same language pattern. He has. Mae something da fe. Here's the second language pattern. Mae un, which means he or he is. He or he is. Mae un tal. Probably work out what one means. Mae un tal. Mae un cariad or caredig, which means caring or loving. Mae un byw, he lives yn Casnewydd. Mae un byw yn Casnewydd. He lives in Newport. Okay, so there's 3 examples of how you can use mae un, he is or he. Now, we're going to play a little game, hopefully, to get a bit of practice in writing those phrases. So pause the video for a moment if you haven't got a pencil and pen ready. If you have got a pencil and pen ready, or when you have, let's go. We're going to play a game called Camera and Barod. You might have played this in class before. A phrase or a word will appear on the screen, and the first thing you're going to do is you're going to edrychwch, look. You can look at the word, look at the shape, look at the pattern, look for any punctuation, look where capital letters are. Second thing you're going to do is you're going to have a go and darllenwch. You're going to read it. I'll do it for you today, but perhaps you can do it as I'm doing it at home. Then third, camera and barod. Get your camera ready, make-believe, imagination camera, and cliciwch, really concentrate on those words and remember what they look like, thinking about it, get it to your memory, and then the word will disappear off the screen and you are going to ysgrifennwch. You're going to write them down. Once you've written them down, Mrs. Palmer is going to show you them again so that you can edrychwch eto. Look again, edrychwch eto, and that will give you a chance to check. Okay, now te, gair first, gair gyntaf, first words. Get ready. Mae something. Edrychwch. How many words do I need to remember? Is there any punctuation that I need to put in the right spot? Darllenwch. Mae something da fe. Mae something da fe. Camera and barod, cliciwch, cliciwch, cliciwch. Put that to your memory. Ysgrifennwch. Write it down. I'll give you a couple of moments to do that. And then edrychwch eto. Da iawn ti if you managed to get that right. Well done. Well done if you got that one right. Here's the second language pattern. Remember, here's camera yn barod, edrychwch darllenwch, camera yn barod, cliciwch, ysgrifennwch, edrychwch eto. Mae in something. Mae in something. Edrychwch. Look at the word. How many words are there in this phrase? Where's any punctuation? Where are any capital letters? Mae in. Darllenwch. Mae in. Mae in. Mae in. Camera yn barod. Cliciwch. Put it to your memory. Cliciwch, cliciwch. Ysgrifennwch. Give you a couple of moments to write it down. And here we go. Let's edrychwch eto. Let's have another look. Mae in. Well done if you got that right too. Let your teachers know if you got both of those right, or show them by sending them a photo via Seesaw. Now, I want to show you the last giant that I explained to you, a Spatherden. But this time I want to share with you a paragraph of writing that I have used those two language patterns to write. So here is my picture of a Spatherden. Let me move my head out of the way. This is my picture of a Spatherden. Don't laugh at him. He's not terrible. He's all right. But he's not the best picture in the whole wide world either. So this is a Spatherden, chief of the giants. And I've drawn him, but I've also written a paragraph of description about him. Here we go. Dyma a Spatherden. Here is a Spatherden. Mae un mawr ac yn gas. Mae trousers gwyrdd da fe. Mae crys T brown da fe. Mae llygaid mawr ac du da fe. Mae barf hir. A gwallt hir da fe. Here's my second sentence pattern. Mae un byw yn y goedwig. He lives in the forest. Mae un hoffi, he likes, bwyta, eating, plant, children. Sorry, boys and girls. Mae un hoffi bwyta plant. I'm safe. I'm 37. I'm safe from him. You're not so much. Dyma'r Spatherden. Mae un mawr ac yn gas. Mae trousers gwyrdd da fe. Mae crys T brown da fe. Mae llygaid mawr ac du da fe. Mae barf hir a gwallt hir da fe. Mae un byw yn y coedwig. Mae un hoffi bwyta plant. Now, if you want to go for gold today, you could throw in a golden sentence. And today's golden sentence looks a little bit like this. Dydy ddim yn hoffi dŵr. Dydy ddim yn hoffi dŵr. He doesn't like water. Dydy ddim yn hoffi dŵr. Now the reason it's gold is because it's a different language pattern. It's a negative language pattern. We're saying he doesn't like. Dydy ddim yn hoffi dŵr. Anything could go there. It doesn't have to be doesn't like water. Dydy ddim yn hoffi cats. Dydy ddim yn hoffi mushrooms. Dydy ddim yn hoffi nofio, swimming. If you don't know the word for Welsh, you could pop an English word in as long as you've got the Welsh language pattern there correctly, because I've given you lots of help to write those. Now, just before we go, I'm going to show you a couple of things that are going to help you. First of all is this, I move my head out of the way again, is this. This is, and this will be shared with you on Seesaw, it's a huge mat or a page full of words you might need. Gwallt, llygaid, troen, ceg, barf, moustache, eiliau, eyebrows, bach, mawr, enfawr, tal, in the centre there, and y goedwig, ar y mynydd, yn agos at y môr, near the sea, yn yr ogof, gas, mean, caredig, crack, ofnus, and then we got some clothes, crys tee, crys, trousers, het, sanau, menig, clogin, remember Rita with his clogin of barf, beard, from all the other people, scarf, jacket, ac esgidiau. So they will help you. You don't have to imagine all of these things. You can use these to help you. Final thing to help you is a success criteria. Let's see if you want to go for bronze, silver or gold. So the same nod for everybody. Bronze, choose an image from online of a Welsh giant. So search for an image of a Welsh giant and then use that and the word bank to describe your giant. You should write 3 or 4 sentences about him. Silver is to draw your own giant picture like I did. Use the word bank to write a description of your giant and write 5 or 6 sentences about him and use both language patterns. So my something da fe and my un. Gold, draw your own giant picture, use the word bank, write 5 to 6 sentences about him and use both language patterns, and try and include the negative sentence, dydy e ddim yn hoffi. Iawn? Okay, here is your task for the day. Good luck. I know it's a tricky one. Good luck. We can't wait to see how ambitious you are. Well done. Pob lwc bawb.